Hey, what's up? It's me, your girl Angela, and I am here with my best friend for over 27 years. Now, we've been best friends for over 27 years, but I've known her. I think we met when you was in sixth grade, Tanya.
We probably technically met before then,
Because
but yeah, from
I think it
the
was sixth
family
grade
next
door,
door.
yeah.
But
Did you go to
when we
Oreos?
no,
So it had to be sixth grade,
yeah,
Everglades.
William Dandy. That's when we became aware,
Oh, right. Aware of each other.
aware, aware of who Angela Lewis was
Yeah.
and who Tanya
Shields
Shields was.
was. Yeah.
Exactly.
And so I just thought it was fitting to have a conversation with my best friend. Why? Because it's February, right? And we always talk about love in the month of February, but we do it with our husbands, our girlfriends, our boyfriends, but not our friends, right? We don't celebrate them. We don't show appreciation into them. So I wanted to show my friend off and just have a conversation with her as far as how did we stay friends for 27 years? And then like what do you feel like we have in common? How did you put up with me? How did I put up with you? Those things. I just want to have those conversations. Cause do you ever sit back and think about your friend and how your friend became your friend? Now, I'll let Tanya tell you the story, or I can tell the story of how we became best of friends.
I think you always do really good.
You just like to hear the story, don't you?
I think you do really, really good. I think that listening to God is definitely a positive pointer in your life.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
all of us.
yeah.
So yes, I like when you say it.
Okay. So first of all, Tanya and I was friends before we both came over to Christ. We'll tell you that story about how we came over to Christ. But before we came over to Christ and we was just friends, we used to hang out together. We would go to clubs together. I would do her hair. I would try to encourage her to fight. Those things. But she's always been. When we was younger, I thought she was kind of aggressive, and so I didn't see her as my best friend, but I saw her as a good person to hang out with because her personality is kind of strong. And so, but what I have learned in these years is to know her, is to love her. And that there's absolutely nothing she wouldn't do for a person. She would give you anything. And when I first met her, and I think one of the reasons why I couldn't be her friend is I wasn't sure if she was my friend. You know the story. Go ahead and tell her. Tell the people what you no. Tell the people what you should do.
I still do. So know that this is just what I do.
Yes.
I order everything.
So let me tell you. Okay, so I would say let's go to lunch or let's go to breakfast. And mind you, I had two kids at that time. I just one. Ken.
I think you just had Ken.
Yeah. I would just a single mother had one child, and I'd be like, let's go to lunch, let's go to breakfast, or let's go. One time, what broke the cat was when we went to I think it was Row House. That's what IHOP, all of them. But anyway,
Anywhere.
we would go to lunch and I would be minding how much we spend. And she would be like, yeah, let me get the pancakes and let me get the steak and let me get the hash brown and then let me get this entree too and this. And I was like, this girl is trying to use me. And then as I would stop going places with her unless we both had money or she had money. But then I realized she was not trying to use me. That is just who she is. She spend your money like it's her money. So, and literally,
I spend all money the same.
She don't care who money it is. And so I learned that she's not stingy with her money with you. And so you can't be stingy with your money with her. When you go with Tanya, I used to be like, okay, we got $70. Okay.
Okay,
She'd be like,
we can do that. Okay, well, let me pick.
Yeah, I'm like, Tanya.
Let's see.
I had to learn that, and I learned that was just her personality. That she wasn't a user. You're not a user at all. I think you are the one of the most genuine person I know.
Oh, that's good. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
But I definitely don't want to use you. I will spend your money, but you will absolutely know where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
It will not. you won't question it.
And
You'll know exactly where I'm
then
coming
she
from.
ordered 9 entree. They be like, and a glass of water. I was like, you don't order everything else. You might as well get the water now.
Well, I need the water because we need to just to wash down properly, because everything doesn't go with every kind of drink. So Pepsi doesn't really go with everything, y'all. Don't believe her.
My Pepsi.
Don't believe her when she said
Pepsi go with pizza. Pepsi
it goes
with wings.
It goes with pizza and Chinese food.
Oh, definitely Chinese food
and
pizza.
Through. Pepsi that's mandatory.
Yeah, you cannot have Chinese food nor without pizza Pepsi. And wings without a Pepsi.
Now I can have wings without it.
No, not me.
Because unless it's some spicy food, and Popeyes, pizza, so and Pepsi.
You need Pepsi for everything.
You got to go. Chinese food.
I'm trying to tell you.
You need it.
Just order you
not
a
everything.
Pepsi.
I can't have it with cookies. I can't have it with
not desserts. Not desserts.
No, definitely not desserts. Yeah, that's just a clash. But all food I don't have to have it with, but pizza
anyway. Yeah. So that's when we was just friends, and then we got saved. Right. I got saved first, and
she brought reel it in, friend.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, that's what you did. Okay. You reeled it in.
Yeah.
And so, that was a wonderful day. I can't tell you, Angie had moved away. Her and Woody both had moved far away
to North Carolina,
and they had come back home. And I just love how God does a thing, because it was just all miracles that day. It was just miraculous on everything. So everything I remember, I was like, I always played. And not necessarily played speaking in tongues. I played like I speak Spanish. I played like I speak Creole. I pretend to speak every language.
You just came here playing like you was from England today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So everywhere, I love accents, and it's the jokester in me. And so I didn't realize that sometimes people get offended. So please, if you're watching this, never be offended, because sometimes people maybe I'm not picking at people. I love the difference in people. I love people's accent. And so I would copy and mimic. And it's also the jokester in me, because I'm kind of a comedian. Mm-hmm. So I would do that. But when God called me to come to him and and knocked at that door, I'm glad it was with my best friend. Yeah. I just was so excited that day. And I've been excited ever since. I was like, yeah, he did that for us. Mm-hmm. That was our
I know, right? He bonded us together.
That was right. It was a different bonding that, her and Woody had their marriage. That's a bonding. But it was a different bonding. It was a marriage of our friendship like none other. Because when you have a friend in Christ, that's a good friend. When you have a friend that you can love in Christ, because people try. They do. I'm sorry, they try.
But I like the idea that we was friends before I gave my life to Christ.
Right.
And most of the time when you become saved, when you lose all your friends.
You lose it. We don't even lose them. God starts. What did Andrea say? They start falling off, right? They start falling off, and so like, okay.
You was a friend that to me he didn't want me to lose contact with. Yeah. And so though I had gave my life to Christ first, and I would share stuff with you, I would share songs with you, but it wasn't enough. I guess he said, "Well, I'm not going to let you leave her," because at that time you had already begun to show me that you was a real friend,
right?
And so one day I was home.
Yeah. So they had just moved back, and we were over there in the neighborhood, and I called and I was like playing. I was speaking Spanish. I really knew Spanish. Uh-huh. I really did know Spanish. Now Angie had to.
I don't know the Spanish,
right? So, but I was hola, cómo está, and then and then she was praying, and so picked up the phone. She was speaking in tongues. I was like, what? Oh, she's not playing.
Right.
She's serious. And I was like, she'll answer the phone when she's praying. Uh-huh. I was like, and she gave me a word. It was an interpreted word. And then I was like, I'll be right over there. I'm coming right now. Yeah. I need to be in the place of I didn't understand the movement of God, but respected it so. And I think, and I look back at that, and I see how God draws his people and calls his people, and how he keeps his people close. Because I was like, I didn't even know what I know now, but I realized to reverence him.
Mhm.
And I love that. And I was like, okay, I'm coming right now.
I like how you did that, because most people feel like they got to give their life to Christ in church. They got to give their life to Christ in some type of church settings or meeting. But I was literally home praying, and he had me praying for you at that time. And the same time that he started me to interceding for you, the phone rung, and I never answer the phone when I'm
Right when
praying.
you're praying, I was like, she praying for real.
Yeah. And my prayer language back then sounded a little like Spanish in a sense. So when I started, I can remember her going, "Hola, ¿cómo está? Bien, I see it." And I was like, she was like, "Oh, for real, I'm on my way. I'm on my way." And she got there so fast, and God did a thing.
Yes, he did. It was on from there. Everything that I had so every time
Every
in
time.
our friendship, every single time I was ever pregnant in our friendship, I mean the next day, the next day, Angie would dream about it and she'll be like, "Girl, I dreamed about fish." And I'd be like, I hope it's not me. But it wasn't her
Yeah.
sister.
Could you imagine that?
It was
Every
every
time.
time. It was so crazy. And so, sometimes people are a little dramatic with it, but no, every single time. And so when this time God did it different. And God, you are so hilarious, yet loving, yet sensitive, yet caring. He did it different this time because sometimes he has to show you that he's just God. And
Yeah.
so, and that it's not us, and it's not the fish, and
Mhm.
it's not the other visions of different things that we,
Right.
and the avenues that you get things through. And so he didn't tell me. Now I know that the condom burst, but I didn't say nothing to my friend. So
Yeah.
when she said, I was like, "Oh, Angie didn't call me." So when the condom burst, almost every time, this is for adult ears, I would be pregnant.
Yeah.
So this time, the condom burst, and I didn't say nothing, but I was upset, and I was like,
Yeah.
and
that you didn't get the call.
I didn't get the call.
Yeah.
I didn't get the fish call in the morning. So I was feeling kind of safe, right? So it's just so crazy. But then when I got to the house, we got to Mother Lewis' house. I got to Mother Lewis's house, and she was praying, and he started revealing and answering questions that I, in my private time, in my heart, had spoken to him about. I didn't say it to her, and I say everything. I say a lot of things. I usually don't have no secrets. However, these were simple things about marriage, about love, that when I
Your
was in the
concerns.
relationship with my kid's father. And so I said, God, if he's not what you want me to have, then I need to end this, period. And so he answered all of those things through her. And so when people start questioning if God is real, I'm like, I guess you have to experience him for yourself.
Yeah, that is true.
But I can attest to some things. If you think my word holds any water, I can attest to you that he's real. And so when she started answering those questions, because God said about him those things I was asking him about, and I was like, whoa. And then he told at the last, she got ready to touch my stomach, and she was like questioning herself a little bit, because the dream usually happens. But he did it differently. He did it how he wanted to do it, because you need to know that it's him. And so she got ready to touch my stomach, and I was like, holding my breath, like, oh.
Yeah, I remember
and
that
then
now.
she said, You're pregnant. I was like, "Ah!" And why did I feel that way? I really felt that way because previously I had a son and a daughter. I thought that was just perfect. I had multiple abortions. Anytime I get below on me, I would be pregnant, I would always say. And so on numerous of times, I was like, okay, yeah, I don't want stretch marks. Oh, I don't want this. I don't want that. But God has another plan. That is also how I know he's real, because those kids thereafter got here.
Yeah. Right.
For real. Because I was all for the enemy when it
Mm.
came to the murdering of children, abortions, and that in that sense, thinking that not sensitive to life as God had given it. And so,
And just not mature, not even
yeah,
valuing some of the
right,
things that
right.
people struggle so hard
So
to do
hard.
because it was so easy for us. And
Yeah.
I say for us because me too. I've had
Yeah.
a few of those things,
Yeah. And
abortion.
I don't
And
even keep
we,
up
the
count.
sad thing about it, and God, this is why I feel like God kept us together too, because even in those times, Tanya, we was there for one another.
Mm-hmm.
I drive you, you drive me. Those things. And even though we don't look at those things as far as how he had bonded us together, even though the enemy tried to have our friendship as far as
Mm-hmm.
the things we did in the world, God was like, no, I'm gonna take that same friendship and bring it over here
And
to the
build it
kingdom.
and build it and,
Mhm.
and intertwine it and mold it and to grow it as
Mhm.
well. And so I love that whole entire experience. And so the miraculous thing that God did that day was the interpretation for Andrew, because I think you said that was your first
My
time
first time.
interpreting
Yeah.
your tongues.
Yeah.
And so and I was just excited because it was her first time answering the phone
Yeah.
when she was praying, but not even, it was for me, about me. And I gave my life to Christ with my best friend.
That's the
And
best part.
that was the real thing, because she had been praying for all of her friends.
Mhm.
She had been praying for associates and friends and people that we were familiar with to come to Christ, because coming to Christ is like, it's like the lottery. You win, and you want to say, how people say, let's go, they giving away cars over here, they're giving
Mhm.
away something over here. Coming to Christ was like, you want everybody to experience it,
Right.
everybody to partake of it, everybody to say, oh, you want some of this. And
Mhm.
so that's how it was. And so when people give their life to Christ, and then you get your friend, and your friends coming too, because
Mhm.
your friends don't always come, your husband don't always come.
Mhm.
When God is faithful to do that,
Mhm.
then you better know you love.
Yeah.
You better know you love.
I know he loved me, and just sitting back here thinking about, sometimes you go through a lot of things in life, right? And that hunger, that ear that you had for the Holy Ghost, it kind of get dull,
Mhm.
right? Because of life circumstance, because of being, whether you say misused or hurt inside of the church. And it tends to wound you. And in the midst of wounding you, instead of you drawing closer to Christ, it almost causes you to pull back, right? Pull back from your gift, because your gifts are being questioned. Everything about you and God has been questioned, because although God has called us, although God has equipped us, man tried to control us, right?
Right.
Man try to make us respond the way they do. Man do things to cause us to second guess who we are in the kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
And so you telling that story as far as what God did for you in that room, it reminds me of my relationship that I had with him.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me where he's calling me to now. It's funny that you're here today telling this story right here, because I've been in the place where I've been seeking him like never before. Like when I first gave my life to him, up in the morning, up in the middle of the night, writing things.
Right.
And so for him to do this today is just solidifying who you are to me, to my life. And even as we did a show early today talking about friendship, I sit and I look at you, and I look at times when I wasn't there for you, right? And I think about, even, you might not know this, your last birthday. You're so used to not spending your birthday with me that it didn't matter that you didn't spend this birthday with me. And I was hurt about that. But then I had to give you leeway, because I understood it was me that caused you to feel it was okay not to be with me. It was me that allowed it was me that was not valuing our friendship, because I felt like, you was always there, you always gonna be there. And this time when I wanted to share your day with you, you chose somebody else. And so I'm telling you this for the first time, but I was really
You did tell me. You did, actually. You did say
in a
something.
sense.
You did. You did. And then you say a lot without saying a lot.
I do.
You like Diane said the other day.
Yeah.
When she said, you know we were late.
You know, my sister is mad.
It's bad. So I was like, so then we all know. So it's important that we know, and if we know, then we have to either do better,
Yeah,
or make sure that we give you a whole bunch of hugs. Sometimes you're not. I
don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, I just think God is so good because you went through something this weekend and I knew it, right? Because he kept telling me to call you, call you, call you. And so when you called me and told me after I got the phone with you, I was so mad because I'm like, God, you told me. I would have never missed that back in the days. I would have never missed that. But what it showed me, he showed me that he's stirring it back up, right? He's bringing it back to me because I want those gifts that he gave to me. And I just think that's so amazing that you're here today. And so it's Valentine's month and I wanted to celebrate my friend. I wanted to share the camera with her. I do shows all the time, and this is the first time that you really was a part of the show. I did a little thing for my birthday, but this is the first time that you was here, and I just think that God did this. I think this was really ordained by God. And so we want to tell you how we became best friends. We told you how we used to hang out. Really, she has been a kind person, although her life, yes, she ran the street. Yes, she knew how to get the money, but she's never been a mean girl. You have those mean girls, those stuck-up girls. She's on the red side. She was way smaller. We both were. She had a gorgeous figure. And so even in that, she was never a mean girl. She never thought people was jealous of her. She never looked down on anybody. She never thought she was better. She just knew how to get her money. And one thing about getting her money is that she always shared when she got money with me. So anyway, I don't want to say, and I'm going to say maybe my insecurity couldn't allow me to see her as a friend, right? Because I don't know if I said it on this show or the last show. Her personality was extremely aggressive for me. At that time I was a little more passive. Her French, her tone was like I felt like she wanted to control our friendships. She was a little overbearing for me, and so I loved her for years. For years, okay.
Just maybe recently.
Yeah. And she was just.
She always say, "Cheers."
I need you to come. I'm gonna tell you about the time we got a lot of stories to tell. But anyway, I'll tell you about the time I took her to the mall and I was like, I'm never going to the mall with you again. I'm just gonna give you money and you can go buy what you want. Yeah. But after we gave our life to Christ, after she came to the church, after she began to serve the church where we both was members at, I remember going through this lonely period in my life. My sisters are a little older than me, but we was different. We wasn't as close. My one sister had kids, my other sister got married, so life just wasn't close for us. And I was just going through a lonely period in my life. And I remember driving down this street called 21st at 21st Street, right by Sunrise, the overpass. When you're coming down
I was turned to 23rd.
Correct. Yeah. And I asked God, I was like, God, I don't have any friends. I was like, man, I want friends. I was like, God, I don't have any friends. And I remember me saying like that, God, I don't have any friends. And he was like, that's not true. I gave you Tanya. And as soon as he said that, it was something like clicked in my heart for her. And I've had people in my life, but even people that came to be close to me. I had this one friend, I call her sister friend, but nobody ever took Tanya's place. And even sometimes I spend time with more people or a particular people more than I do her. But I always try to make sure I text her or say something like, you're my best friend. Because
I already know.
Yeah.
So I'm good.
Yeah. And if I didn't say one thing about Tanya, would it like to say this? My husband be like if somebody try to get close to me, he'll say, Tanya gonna get him.
And I'm really not.
He like, Tanya gonna get him. And because my friend has a way that every time she introduces us, no matter where she at, she say, what'd you say, Tanya?
I don't even know what I say.
You be like, that's my Bestie Angela.
That's on my property.
That's my best friend. And my Bestie, like you may hang out with her, but That's my bestie.
Yeah, okay. So
That's-
I don't even know I'm doing
yeah,
that. But
you-
yeah, but that
that's
is my
my
bestie. It is my bestie. But you can share.
Yeah.
I'm share.
And she have shared. And so anyway, that's how we became best friend. God had told me that she was my friend. Have you ever had a friend that God gave you? Have you ever felt that God loved you so much that he chose your friend for you, and he chose her for me? And we have been through some things silently as far as try to come between our friendship. And though we may stray away from a point whenever needed, um, she's there. And I'm gonna say that, there's always a stronger person in the relationship than others. And I feel like you remind me of Woody. Like Woody and I stayed together because he fought for us. You and I, our friendship lasted too because you showed up for me. And so I wanted to say that.
But yeah, I think that as we get older, I mean, not even as we get older, if God
You're
is
the
so
only people that I don't say, oh, I'm done with them.
I know, well, because you can't.
Yes,
I mean, you can.
Yes, I can.
Absolutely,
I
you can.
was gonna want to be done
mean,
with you too,
you
because
tr-
I
you
was
try-
like,
you did
God,
try,
show me
but
the shifting in
I'm
the
more than
relationship. You're like,
sure-
get over yourself, Warren.
It's like I'm more than sure
it wasn't
Papa would
me.
talk to you, because I'm not gonna be changing
Yeah.
in my heart, in who I am, except hopefully for the better. And so, with that being that way, I don't anticipate Woody gonna stand in the pain for me like I stand in the pain for him.
Yeah.
Period.
He do.
Period.
And then I be like, and even when I go through my moments, because we talked about how you want to have friend girls, you want to go to dinner, you want to go to lunch, you want to have girls' night, and I be like, I don't have any friends. You be like, yes, you do. He be like, you do, shorty. He be looking at me like this too, for real. Like you do, shorty. You know Tanya your friend. I be like, yeah, but she ain't got time for me. Yeah. And so it's just a great thing to know that you're there. And I don't want you to ever think that I don't value you. There is time when I've taken you for granted.
It's okay.
But I could tell you, Tanya, I know it's okay.
And I say, okay.
Okay.
Go ahead, tell me.
And so, I want you to know that I value our friendship.
Thank you.
Yeah. Go ahead. Tell me you value me.
I guess.
See,
though, but I value.
I do.
I'm going to show up. It's till the end. It's like any other marriage. Like I said, friendships are marriages as well.
It is,
because it's going to be a soul tie, and so any other marriage is gonna yield the same results. I'm gonna be there until the end. That's how I think it should be.
Sometimes I think we forget about all the things that we've been through together, and that's because you never think about, oh God, yeah, we did go there together. Oh yeah, we did go to Busch Gardens together. Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I see the pictures. This girl, you throw stuff away. It's because you throw stuff away. That's not my fault. So
I don't have any of my pictures.
I get to see those things, and so I also totally respect. Though we're friends, though we're gonna be best friends to the end, I totally respect the best friendship that you have with Woody. And so with that, I always think that you are covered, protected. He has you. And so a lot of times where it may seem like I don't, not necessarily not value, but even if you need me and it doesn't seem like I'm there in advance. Like saying, "Oh, Andrew, you need this," because it's really, you kind of be like nonchalant. Yeah, no, I got it.
Yeah, you always say I have a problem with letting people help me.
Right. So with that, I'm like, I know Woody can help her, and so that, but in this next phase of our life, in this next 10, 20, 30, 40 years, our next 50 years even, in order to grow, when you need something, and especially when I ask, then just say what you need. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit of pride that said, I got it. Yeah, I don't need no help.
No.
And that's not,
but I don't say that too much with you, Tanya, because I rely on you helping me.
But you
And when
still
you
might not
don't,
actually say it
no,
though.
no, but when you
I don't think
don't,
you say it, Warren. I don't think you.
no, I do. I be like, Tanya, you going? I'm having so and so. You be like, okay, I'm gonna be there. I be like, okay, that's me
Right,
saying
right.
it. That's me saying it, honey. I be like, Tanya, I'm having an event on June 3rd. You
So
be like,
y'all
what
heard that?
time?
That's duly noted. That's
She be like, she be like, what time? I be like 10. She be like, okay. I be like, all right. You already know. That's all I need to let you know is a
okay,
date.
okay.
That's me telling you that I need you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We got that for the next 4-5
forever life,
decades.
for life. Or, even when my mom had battle with her battle of cancer, no one, it was like God had you call, because only you called me at the moment of me breaking. And I wouldn't have probably broke with nobody else because I had to be strong with everybody
Right.
else. And so you don't even realize what God is doing. We always say that He's always on time. We say that nothing happened by chance. We say that He's a on God, on time God. He's do
But when
things
you know
divine.
that you know for
Yeah.
real, for real.
But when you start seeing it, because sometimes, like I say, life make you not even be sensitive to the move of God. And you don't even realize God did that. God orchestrated that. And so I'm at that place, and I'm so grateful to be at the place where I reverence Him, and I'm hungering again for His voice.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good. That's where I desire to go there this year, and like I said, Kingdom in Me in 2023. And when I said that yesterday, I just said that yesterday. I thought I was doing something rhyming. I said that to Apostle I said, yeah, for real. It's gonna be kingdom and it's gonna be me. And she said it was just an anointing in it when God said it, because he honors those things that we desire, the desires of our heart. And I said, okay. So I'm anticipating that. I'm expecting that. As a matter of fact, it's already done. And so I love the way He thinks on us when we're not thinking on ourselves, or when people aren't thinking on us, which to me is just good.
Yeah. It is amazing.
It's better than good.
It is.
It's better than
And
good.
so that's pretty much what I wanted to do. I wanted to share with you. Anything you want to tell the people? Anything you want to share?
Value your friends. Sometimes I think a lot of times, I'm going to tell you what makes a really, really great friendship. Truth. The walls coming down. I think a lot of people, since I've always been an open book, I know that people aren't. And I think that people don't always want to be true to themselves, to not just to themselves, but to the people who they're trying to love. And I think that holds a lot of relationships from being, because we don't want to be in front of people.
Yeah, we're afraid of being vulnerable. We think that being vulnerable makes us weak, but what God had shown me about my vulnerability, He was like, that's where my strength comes from.
Yeah, it strengthens us. Because there's nothing that the enemy can do
or
he can't
use
keep
against
any
you.
secrets. He can't, all of that. So to me, I just think that's the best thing ever, when people open up to their friend. Yes, we have as people of color, we have always wanted to be harsh. But I still should be able to say I love you, friend, and I can still be harsh, but I can still say I love you though, and I appreciate you, or I need you, or whatever, and I just think that truth will get us all to the next level. And so as we're going forth in love this month, that's what I think we need to do. We need to think about those things that we love about ourselves, that we could share with people and not be afraid. I mean, everything is not a secret. Sometimes I'm not talking about social security numbers. I'm not talking about all your business, your bank account business, and all of that. I just think that we need to be able to love and share truthfully to so people can meet our needs. How do you expect your needs to be met if you never really express your needs?
Or even share what you're going through? Sometimes we're so private about what we're going through, whatever battle we're experiencing, because we're feeling that people are judging you. But if it's your friend, this is one way I can determine whether or not you're my friend. is that if I can't share what I'm going through, the bad, then you're not my friend. Or if I can share my bad with you, but everything with you is always perfect, you never share anything that you're going through, then that let me know that you don't trust me as a friend. And so I can't be your friend if you can't share your downtime with me. You only
Right.
want to be, like you said earlier, be there to celebrate you, but not when you're going through, because that's what builds friendship. Like you said earlier, your struggles when you're going through,
Mm-hmm.
how you see me, how you be there, a friend that's going to be able to be honest with you, to say, hey, this is not your fault. Oh yeah, this is your fault. Or,
Yeah.
you need those kind of people in your life. I need those kind of people in life, and I want
Absolutely.
those kind of people
We
in
all
life.
do. We all do. We need those people that really help pinpoint things for us, to help us grow, because
Mhm.
it's going to help us to grow. It's going to help us to love someone else. It's going to help us to support someone else, and all of those things. There, it'll be growth.
Yeah, and I don't care how old you are, you should still want to love someone. You should still want to support someone. You should still want a friend, yeah, if not two. They always say that friends are far in between. I mean, but Jesus had 12 disciples. I mean, one of them was Judas and he was a betrayal. But we experience those things too. But we should be grateful that God counted us to have friends. And even the Bible says, show yourself friendly. So to have a friend. So in this month of February, don't just think about your husband or the ones you're laying with. Think about those friends that's there for you and your good and your bad. Think about those friends that you call to cry on their shoulders, or, just to hang out with. Think about those friends and show them some type of appreciation. Show them some love. Take them to dinner, take them to lunch. Just call them up and say, hey, friend, I love you and I appreciate you. That's what I think.
Exactly.
Okay. This is my best friend, Tanya, for
And
over
this is my bestie.
over
This is
20.
my bestie.
Who am I?
My bestie.
Yeah, this is my best friend, Tanya Shields. When you see her, tell her hi. This is your girl, Angela. Everything you do, always be true to you. I love you and I mean it. Bye.